So starting off this morning, we have our Deputy National Commodore, Ken Brown, representing our National Commodore. So we appreciate his presence. And Commodore, if you would share your thoughts, please.
Good morning. I bring you greetings from Mark Simone, our National Commodore, and I'd like to cover a few things with you out there today. We've been working at National a way of getting information out to the members, to the leaders, and we're using what they call uh-oh, it's thunder. But we're using what they call the USCG aux message system, and the emails are coming out. They're marked USCG aux-MS. And we would like you to go out to your members and to make sure they check their spam folders for that messages, because the messages are coming out and we're checking to see if they're being read. And it looks like we're not getting those messages, they're not being read. The other thing is, if they don't want these messages and they don't want them, don't put them into their spam folder, but to just ask for them to be deleted so they don't get this information. But it's good information coming out. Instead of using what's new all the time, if we need to reach out to the members or to the staff or to wherever we need to get to, we send these messages out. And I think you've been seeing those messages coming, but we need to get it down to the deck plate that they understand that. The next thing that I have is awards. You know, if we're going to look at trying to pay our members out there, we need to get the awards. And they need to come up from the flotilla commanders, division commanders, and on up the chain so we can start doing this. Right now, we have the AFRIS award, which is the Saving at Sea award. There was 168 lives saved last year, and we hardly have anybody turn anything in for the individuals. We need to recognize these individuals. So if you have anybody in your divisions that has saved a life, look at the AFRIS award, submit that and send it up through Rob so we can get that information in and hopefully get these people recognized. The other thing is for the National Auxiliarist of the Year. Right now we have very little of those coming in, and if you have somebody in your division or flotilla that meets the criteria, please try to get that turned in. We got to the 28th of February, and I'd like to see some come out of 5th Northern, 5th Southern, and the rest of the districts that I'm responsible for. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see if we can go ahead and get the people paid for what they're doing. The next thing, the new thing that we're doing is deck plate leadership that's on the T Directorate. These are workshops that we have in there that are about 15 minutes long. We have Admiral Papp on there, and we have a few of the Gold Side high-ranking officials that are doing these courses. And we would like to see this used through the flotillas and use one of them per quarter. There's going to be a total of 15, and right now we're trying to get Admiral Z or Admiral Zumkov to do one of them for us, so we have a newer, standing commandant in there so you can see what they're talking about and how they talk about leadership. But please try to get this to work through and look at these and see these courses that are online there that you can take in the flotillas. The next thing is the dues increase. And I know there's probably a lot of questions out there, and due to the timing, I don't want to get into this too much, but if you do have questions, send it to Rob. I will get you the answers that you deserve and get them to you. I'm going to go through some of the things that we looked at when we were looking at the dues increase. A few years back, we had a dues increase that they tried to pass. One thing was it wasn't transparent. We got out there as standing Commodores. I think Bob Lorraine, you were on that panel with us at that time. Yeah. And what it was is they came up and they wanted to raise the dues, if I can remember right, it was $15 and then $5 thereafter for the next 3 years, for a total of $30 raising in dues. That went down. It got voted. It never even got a second on the floor when that one came up. However, we put the budget together this year. The budget was in a deficit. We had to do something. We're looking at the Coast Guard with dwindling funds. They're not being able to support the auxiliary like they used to. And we're trying to get the training out there and getting our chief of staffs, our commodores, and our meetings that we need to have them at. And we're also looking at the DSOs. We would like to get the DSOs to come out there and be part of N-Train and NACON. So as we're starting to look at this and what we could have done, we came up with a number, which I think Rob shared that with you. We ended up looking at everything, and we came up that it was like $8.40 per member just to cover what we had in a deficit in the budget. We decided that we would look at maybe going $10 a year or $12 a year, because we wanted to go out there and face you with one dues increase and hopefully not have to do it again for a long time. It's been 10 years since we raised dues in national, and we really looked at it and we're trying to make things work for you. And I just wanted to, let you know why we were doing this. But if you look at it, we have ASOC training for the chief of staffs. We would go to the academy for a week. It was one way that you had every DCO throughout the nation get together for a week of intense training, and they would come out of there and they had a core of friendship that if they have individual problems, they could go to the other chief of staffs or division or district commodores out there and get information to help them with their districts. So we ended up having to cut that last time on ASOC, and the individuals weren't allowed to be there. And it really hurt the last ASOC class that was there. They didn't get that rapport that we had when I went through it. The training cuts, which I talked about, and also the revenues that you're getting from the public education. That's not coming in anymore. So we're looking all that through national, what could we do to help this out? So when we decided to do the dues, we were being transparent with that. We came up and we said, look, if we're raising the dues, it's going back to the members. It's not going and being spent or put out there to, benefit national. It's going to benefit the members out there. So over 1/3 of the dues increase is targeted to fund items that DIROCs used to fund where they can't do it anymore. And this ends up by us going ahead and picking up these funds that they used to do. It allows them to do programs that'll help you out, your D trains, traveling for your DCO to get out to the divisions, that kind of thing that we're trying to do, member training. So we decided, okay, if we're doing this, the money's going back to the membership, and that's the way we're doing that. We're also looking at improving the IT services, and you'll see that, Oxinfo is going out. We know that. It's on a lifeline. We got it extended for 6 months. We have to look for a new program that'll take over and be able to work with Oxdata. This is the things that we're trying to do. We're looking at making, putting more membership forms on the website that you could get to, like the leadership programs. All those things cost money, but it goes back to the membership for training. And that's what we keep looking at and trying to do with this. The other thing that we're doing is we want to be able to bring more people to the N-Train, more people to the NACON. We're looking at the DSOs. Last year we brought, at N-Train this year we brought 2 people out. We brought PA and we brought MS out, and we brought the new IM DSO out to that. MS was paid for by a different fund. It was paid out of the Coast Guard. So we only were able to fund 2 DSOs out to this. So what we're trying to do is we want to bring back to where we used to be at the level of 6 DSOs for N-Train and NACON. We want to get the membership and the training to bring back to your staff out here. So that is one of the things we're really trying to look at. We're also going to fund all the chief of staffs from now on out of national funding. That's one of the things we're trying to do to alleviate the DIROCs and having to fund that part of it. So that's the thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to get national area planning meetings. We haven't had these. We've been doing these on conference calls, and it doesn't give you that face-to-face. I actually have one planned. It's looking like it's going to be the 1st of May, where I can get my 5 districts together. That's going to be funded. Even though the dues aren't coming out of that, we'll be able to fund that through, as you say, borrowing from the reserves that we have. We're going to borrow some money so we can continue to get this thing on the road and moving forward. So we're really trying to put this money back to the membership, and we're being very transparent on that. But if you do have any questions, just because you're short on time, get those questions to Rob. Rob will get them to me, and I'll have you an answer, as quickly as possible on those. And that's all I have to say. I want to say I enjoyed being here at this N train, and I look forward to coming back again. And thank you.